So I'm going to kick it over to my man, Just Johnny, waiting there with a zen-like patience.
Oh, yeah, just waiting
to give his honest opinion. He's been
very, very honest opinion.
He's played so close to the chest.
Yeah, I can't wait to let this one rip.
On Phantom Limb.
This is Phantom Trigger.
Oh, gotcha.
Phantom Limb. That would make this so much better, but... All right, so Phantom Trigger, it's a game that just came out on a Nintendo Switch and on Steam, so you could play it either on your PC or on the Switch on the go. I haven't played it on the PC. My guess is that it's going to be the ideal version will be on the PC, and usually I would fault to the Switch because you could take a handheld portable with you, but I'll get into the reason why it's not ideal on the Switch. And really, just this is the perfect game to avoid. This is such a waste of time, such a waste of money. And
well, hold on a second now. From the description I got, I heard this was a hardcore RPG-like slash game.
All right, so right there, that is false advertising. This is essentially Double Dragon from back in the day.
Not hearing a bad thing.
Except it's slightly dumbed down on mechanics. It's even simpler on mechanics. It's not as in depth.
They gave Double Dragon the Teen Titans Go treatment.
All right, so you know how you level up and you get skills in Double Dragon and stuff like that.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Double Dragon?
Maybe it was Double Dragon 2. One of them you did, yeah. You kill enemies. You get new special attack abilities. And it's either Double Dragon 1 or 2. I'm almost certain on it.
No,
yes.
Man. Oh,
yes,
okay. Well, I'm aware of upgrading and getting new skills.
Yes. Okay. So in Double Dragon, you get new skills as you sort of play along, and that's the same thing with this thing, except it's tied to these bars that fill up as you attack enemies. So eventually, you unlock all the abilities. That's as far RPG as this thing goes. This is a steaming pile of. All right. So
tell us how you really feel.
It's the simplest of games. So this was made in a game jam, and then they're like, let's turn this into a full-fledged game, stick a $15 price tag on it, and sell it. And
some games are made like that are good.
Yeah, not this one. This is all right. So this is sort of it's so dumbed down. When you look at the menus, right? When you first boot up this game,
your problem is with the menus.
Sorry. It's an indicator. Go ahead. It is an indicator of the quality of this game. It's literally just a single backdrop, sort of background image, and then like as stock text font as you can get, and just a couple of little different things. I think it was like 3 options on the front page, and then
what sounds
that
retro,
or story. It's not so much a retro thing. Retro has more class, more style, more aesthetic appeal than this thing. Now, the visuals
Johnny
of this game...
is not a fan of the color scheme. Let's just get that right away.
It's just the presentation. It screams cheap, half-butted.
Okay, so it seems like there was a lack of effort in creation.
Yes.
Which... that would taint the experience. You're right.
Yeah, so so take that part of it, just not putting in the full effort, the full quality that something like this should deserve. So the design is not fully realized all the way. This is a very boring beat 'em up where you're playing your main attacks is sort of you have like this ice attack, you have this with this cube that sort of spins around you, you have this fire attack with your fist, and then you have this whip thing that you can use to sort of scorpion pull enemies towards you.
That sounds like cool stuff.
It is, except it's repetitive, right? So the environments themselves do not change up. The enemy variety does not change up.
So I'm not fighting like 15 guys with like various colors of the radiation symbol on the back of their jackets, and then a guy or girl, or possibly a trans, or maybe it was a guy and is now a girl who's gone full transformation.
It's just that you're going to...
Named Dangerous Beverage.
It's just that you're going through too much of the same stuff before it starts to change itself up. And literally, everything that this whole game is, and now the levels that you're going through is purely linear, but they do have branching paths for the sake of having branching paths so that they're not fully linear, but they are absolutely fully linear. And the branching paths end up being this sort of offshoot that is annoying to do. Yet you have to do it because there's usually some worthless item in there or story enhancing thing over there that will help give you more idea of what the backstory is, but the backstory is absolute garbage.
Oh wait, so these aren't just fetch quests; these are actual things that will help the main story.
So you're playing as what I think is a guy, and the reason why I don't know is I'm going to get into that.
Okay.
You're playing as this guy that died.
You're playing as this blob with a head.
Or I think he died. He sort of collapses, and his wife's like, "Oh my god!" And all of a sudden, you're in this like alternate. You arrive on a boat on like this weird nether realm place, and you're sort of navigating. And there's like this tree. I killed the tree. I didn't know if I was supposed to kill a tree or not. That was kind of cool. But
you fell asleep and woke up to like limbo, didn't you?
It's like a psychedelic limbo.
Psychedelic limbo with colors. That still sounds horrible.
Yeah, a lot of psychedelic colors. Look, I like the aesthetic, the colors, the things that are going on there. Now they also advertise their soundtrack. Their soundtrack is garbage, right? I was expecting some really good retro wave music here, which is kind of what they were promoting for this. They're even selling the soundtrack separately, and it is garbage.
It's a CD full of Yanni.
It's like the most boring, monotonous music, and it's even deafened. Like they don't even have as much trust in their own music that they produce, so that they sort of lowered it a few notches. So you're not really hearing it, so you're not really listening to how awful it actually is.
Oh man!
But that's in there. The story, and once again, the story's really just shovelware garbage. Guy gets sick, collapses, and he wakes up and he's at the hospital, and they don't say what kind of disease he has, but it's pretty much cancer. They're trying to tug at like heartstrings that they haven't earned, right? It's like they haven't earned the player's time to sort of develop any kind of sympathetic story behind there, but they're trying so hard, and that's where
the Morrissey soundtrack comes in.
It's so half done.
Okay, no game I've in my experience has been a good time when it involves cancer in the background. Like when that's one of your main character driving points. It's pretty depressing. There was that one with the dude. There was that game the dude made to teach people about cancer because his kid got cancer and died. His kid got cancer.
Right, and that's actually a well done thing that does earn a certain degree of your emotion. It does earn that from you, but for this, it's forced, right? And it's not trying to put that as the centerpiece for its story, although it is the centerpiece. But it's not like you're playing this game. You're not playing it for the story. I was surprised it even had that for a story. I'm surprised it even went there. It didn't even need it. It was completely unnecessary. So every time
this is not what I'd expect from a game called Phantom Trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
I still don't understand how you go from a cancer patient to shooting fire out of your fist.
It's bouncing back and forth. So when you collapse, it automatically goes into this nether realm, and then every now and then you'll go into like a faint memory of the past, and it's sort of explaining the life that what he was going through after he collapsed, sort of finding out about the sickness or disease or whatever it is, and how he's interacting with his wife and how that relationship is developing and sort of coming apart and stuff like that.
So it's like, where's my dinner?
But that's slowly coming in like as a per memory type of thing.
Okay, so now we've gotten the personal opinion out. Tell me about the gameplay itself.
So it's a hack and slash. It's a beat 'em up game. I mean, if you've played Fatal Fury, if you played Final Fight,
Streets of Rage.
I mean, if you've played those, any of the Ninja Turtle games.
Oh, River City Ransom.
That's the best. Yeah, if you played any of those,
Double Dragon proper,
Double Dragon, and a better game. But it even has the co-op.
Oh wait, and the greatest beat 'em up of all. Let's not forget, the Tekken Adventure Mode.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
do you remember?
Nina Williams game one, right? Remember that?
No. Sub-Zero standalone game.
Oh yeah, that was that was terrible.
Yes, it was.
That was terrible.
But you don't remember Tekken Force?
I don't remember Tekken Force, but I definitely remember that Sub-Zero game.
It started in Tekken 3. That's the one where you pick up the power-ups, and it's like at random, no other audio, and then suddenly you hear, chicken!
Yeah. The Sub-Zero game was a 2D side-scroller beat-em-up, but you had to hit a button in order to turn around. It was so bad.
Oh yes, it was
so bad.
Okay, so it's falling in that arena.
In the Sub-Zero 2D side scroller thing. Except it's not 2D. It's an isometric view. It does have co-op, so I did play a little bit of co-op with my brother, and a big problem with co-op. Not necessarily.
His twin brother, just Jerry.
It can be done well, except co-op in this game, you share the same health pool. So if you're bringing in someone who hasn't played through this and doesn't know sort of the quirks of this game, they're going to get reamed, and you're both going to get a game over screen.
Is that supposed to be for a handicap for the better player?
Yeah. No matter what, it's to your detriment if you're playing in co-op, unless you both play the game from start to finish, all the way through together, and you're willing to die a lot. Because this game is also...
Okay, you hear that, kids? It does not pay to have friends.
It's also a difficult game, a fairly challenging one, but it's made more that would be fine if the enemies and the tells of the enemies, not all of them, but some of them, the hitbox that triggers when they do their attack versus their animation that you see is out of sync, so that you're going to take a hit before they actually do give you the tell that they're about to do the attack. Stuff like that will happen. So it throws you off, so you're not able to sort of react as fast as you thought you would have normally, because the animations are off, because the hitbox is off, because it needs so much more polish. This is a game where they came up with a demo, they polished up a demo. This is sort of like a beta version of the game. Now, this also has bosses, and I got up to boss, killed him, and there was like a little bit of a puzzle element to it. It was kind of cool. And then immediately after, game crashed. Transitioning to the next segment.
I feel like that was programmed just to spite you.
This is the biggest problem with the game.
It's like Penn and Teller's bus driving game. It's just like, oh, you think you got it down, and then suddenly there's a little thing. A bug hit your windshield, lose 5,000 points. What? Huh?
Yeah.
What? You got to turn slightly to the left.
So not only did it crash once, it crashed every single time I tried to start it up again at that spot. Oh. So all my progress is gone. That's it. Well, nothing I can do about it.
This was on the Switch? Because on if it was on Steam or something, I could see a
This was on
PC
Switch,
issue.
yeah.
Damn.
So I mean,
is it possible you just got a faulty cartridge?
No. This is digital.
Ooh, well,
this is digital. This is not a cartridge thing. This is not a hardware thing. This is a bad, under-polished, underutilized. I'm not saying that what they have here is...
Did you pull it out and blow into it? Because that fixes everything.
Yeah, I'll do digital breath onto it, and maybe that'll make it work again.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, there's something that might have been here in this game if they spent more time, more effort, and more design and made this a more interesting game. But this is just a rushed hack job. It doesn't deserve anyone's time at all. It doesn't deserve to exist on these shops. It is so bad that it is... People are going to look at this...
How bad was it?
It's boring. You don't want to play a game and be bored. That's like the ultimate sin. It's just boring. You buy a game because you want to have fun. Mm-hmm. This was boring.
All right, I'm sorry, man. From the description, it did sound like this would have been a cool game. I'm sorry to hear it was less than satisfactory.
I think we'll all live. We'll get through it.
Adam, who does not play games and is not aware of the pain when you fully invest in a game that you think will be the shiz, and it turns out to just be shiz.
I was looking forward to it. The aesthetic part of it, the vibrant colors, the neon colors, and all that, and what I thought would be a good soundtrack. I was looking forward to it, but
well, were there any high points then?
No, none. The high point was that it crashed. I couldn't proceed anymore, and I knew I no longer had to play the game because there was no way to continue forward. That was the high point.
Okay. All right. Wow. Well, Johnny, telling it like it is.
Yeah.
All right. The game is called
Phantom Trigger. It's $15 wasteful dollars on Steam and Switch.
All right, the game is called Phantom Trigger. Johnny thinks it should be called
Buy a Pizza.
Stinky finger.
It should be called Buy a Pizza instead.
Buy a Pizza instead. Okay. Thank you for that. All right, well, now with that, I'm going to turn it over to DJ Herbie Herb.
Yes.